Welcome to G Fun Facts Online. Today we're diving into a topic that sounds like science fiction but is dangerously real: the unseen puppeteer. We're talking about artificial intelligence and how it's creating a massive challenge for election integrity around the world. In an age where digital fabrication is becoming indistinguishable from reality, the democratic process is facing a new and powerful threat: deepfakes. These are hyper-realistic AI-generated videos and audio clips that can show political candidates saying or doing things they never did. It's a minefield of disinformation, and the central challenge isn't just about spotting these fakes anymore. It's about effectively telling the public they're not real. This is the urgent battle to label deepfakes in political campaigns, a fight being waged on technological, legal, and psychological fronts. First, let's talk about the technology itself. Generative AI, which creates deepfakes, is a remarkable human achievement. It has incredible potential for good. Think of realistic special effects in movies, innovative educational tools, or even giving people who've lost their voice a way to speak again with a synthesized version of their own. In politics, it's even been used for positive things, like translating a candidate's speech into multiple languages to reach a broader audience, as we've seen in India. But this powerful tool has a very dark side. The same technology that can bring a historical figure to life can also create a convincing video of a politician taking a bribe or making inflammatory statements they never uttered. This isn't just about deepfakes. It extends to the entire field of what's called synthetic media. The potential for misuse to spread propaganda, endanger national security, and manipulate public perception, especially right before an election, is enormous and deeply concerning. The impact of deepfakes, however, goes far beyond simply tricking a few voters. The more insidious, long-term danger is what's known as the liar's dividend. This is a phenomenon where the mere existence of deepfake technology makes it easier for bad actors to dismiss real evidence as fake. When the public knows that any video could be a forgery, they might start to distrust all media, including authentic footage. This has profound implications. A study on the liar's dividend found that politicians can actually retain voter support by falsely claiming that negative, but true, stories about them are just fake news. By crying wolf, a candidate facing a real scandal can sow just enough doubt to hang on. This tactic is particularly effective against text-based reports of scandals. What's even more worrying is the psychological effect. Research shows that even when people are told about deepfakes, it doesn't necessarily make them better at spotting them. Instead, it can make them distrust all political videos, even the real ones. This breeds a climate of cynicism and apathy, where voters feel they can no longer tell fact from fiction and might just disengage from politics altogether. The goal of these campaigns isn't just to persuade, but to distract, distort, smear, and disrupt. This puts election integrity in constant peril, regardless of how many deepfakes are actually out there. And this isn't a hypothetical future problem. It's happening right now, all over the world. In the United States, a robocall impersonating President Joe Biden went out to voters in New Hampshire, telling them not to vote in the state's primary. It was a stark wake-up call about how AI can be used for voter suppression. In Slovakia, just 2 days before a major election, AI-generated audio clips spread on Facebook. They featured a liberal candidate supposedly discussing plans to rig the election. While it's hard to measure the exact impact, it certainly sowed confusion at a critical time. The 2024 elections in India saw a flood of AI-generated content, including a deepfake of a party leader appearing to criticize an opponent, when the original video was about something completely different. In a truly dark example from Turkey, a presidential candidate withdrew from the race after being targeted with deepfake pornographic material. This shows how deepfakes can not only influence an election, but can completely end a political career. We've seen similar incidents in Argentina, Bangladesh, Poland, Taiwan, and France. This threat is global, adaptable, and growing. This leads us to the technological battlefield. The fight against deepfakes is often described as an arms race between the creators and the detectors. As detection gets better, the fakes get more convincing. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. There are a few main ways to detect deepfakes. First, there are image forensics methods. These look for digital artifacts left behind during manipulation, like inconsistencies in lighting, shadows, or the unique noise patterns from different cameras. But these clues can be easily erased by the video compression that happens when you upload to social media. Another approach looks at physiological signals. Early deepfakes often had faces that didn't blink naturally. But the technology has improved, and that's no longer a reliable sign. More recent research looks for subtle signals like heartbeats, which cause tiny changes in skin color that are invisible to the naked eye. But even this isn't foolproof. Some high-quality deepfakes unintentionally preserve the heartbeat patterns from the original source video. The most promising area is deep learning-based methods. These use neural networks trained on massive datasets of real and fake videos to spot patterns that humans can't see. But they have major challenges. A model trained on one type of deepfake might fail completely when faced with a new technique. And the effectiveness of these models depends entirely on having large, diverse, high-quality datasets of fakes to train on, which are hard to come by. As the detectors get smarter, the creators get sneakier. They develop techniques to evade detection, creating more realistic fakes or even adversarial examples, subtle tweaks to a video designed specifically to fool a detection algorithm. There is no silver bullet. The only way forward is a multi-layered approach that combines different methods and is constantly being updated. Given the technological arms race, what about regulation? Governments are scrambling to figure this out, and the result is a tangled web of different laws. In the United States, it's a patchwork. Regulation has been left mostly to the states. As of early 2025, at least 26 states have laws about AI in political ads. Most require a disclaimer, but some, like Texas, have gone further, banning deepfakes intended to influence voters within 30 days of an election. But these state laws are already being challenged in court on First Amendment grounds, and the decentralized system is a nightmare for campaigns and platforms operating nationwide. At the federal level, things are moving much more slowly. The Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, has proposed a rule for disclaimers on TV and radio ads, but Congress has been slow to pass any comprehensive legislation. Around the world, the picture is just as varied. The European Union has taken a comprehensive approach with its AI Act, passed in 2024. It mandates clear labeling of all AI-generated content and requires transparency from AI providers. China has some of the strictest rules, requiring a permanent, unique identifier to be embedded in all AI-generated content. India has proposed rules that would require social media platforms to verify whether uploaded content is synthetic. But other countries, like the UK and Taiwan, are just amending existing criminal laws to cover specific harms, like fraud. This global patchwork and the borderless nature of the internet make enforcement incredibly difficult. This brings us to the heart of the debate: labeling. The idea is simple. If you label AI-generated content, people won't be fooled. But how do you actually do it? One idea is watermarking, embedding a visible or invisible marker in the content. But visible watermarks can be cropped out, and invisible ones can be degraded or removed. And of course, malicious actors aren't going to voluntarily watermark their deceptive content. Another option is a simple byline disclaimer, like a text warning. It's clear but easy to remove, and there's no guarantee people will even read it. A more technical solution is using metadata tags, embedding information about the content's origin that machines can read. But this isn't visible to the average user. A key debate is whether labeling should be voluntary or mandatory. Tech giants like Meta and Google have voluntary policies for political ads. But many civil society groups say that's not enough, and that mandatory labeling is necessary. In the US, however, mandatory labeling runs into serious free speech concerns, And even if we could implement a perfect labeling system, would it even work? The research is mixed. One study found that labels did make people more likely to believe content was AI-generated, but it didn't change their behavior. They were just as likely to like, comment, or share it. Another study found that the specific wording of the label matters a lot. A label like deepfake or manipulated was much more effective at signaling that content was misleading than a neutral label like AI-generated. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. This puts immense pressure on the gatekeepers, the social media platforms. They are the primary channels where this disinformation spreads. Major platforms like Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok all have policies to address AI content. They use a mix of labeling, automated detection, and human moderation to review and sometimes remove harmful content. But content moderation at this scale is an unbelievable challenge. The sheer volume of uploads makes it impossible to review everything. A deepfake can go viral in hours, long before it's caught, and bad actors are always finding new ways to evade detection. A recent investigation by the Washington Post was revealing. Of 8 major social media platforms tested, only YouTube added a warning to an uploaded AI video, and even that disclosure was hidden from view. Worse, all the platforms stripped the digital marker from the clip that would have revealed its synthetic origin. This shows a massive gap between what these companies say they're doing and what's actually happening. So what's the path forward? There's no single answer. It has to be a collaborative effort from everyone involved. Governments need to create clear, consistent regulations and invest in public media literacy campaigns. Tech companies need to get serious about robust, transparent moderation and build safeguards into their AI tools from the start. Civil society organizations are crucial for advocacy and fact-checking, holding everyone accountable. And finally, there's us, the public. The most important line of defense is a critical and discerning public. We all need to be aware of the potential for manipulation and take a moment to verify the information we see online. The rise of AI-generated deepfakes is a profound challenge to our democracies. It's a tool that can sow discord, erode trust, and manipulate public opinion on an unprecedented scale. The path forward requires a combination of technological innovation, smart regulation, corporate responsibility, and public education. The fight against deepfakes isn't just a technical or political problem. It's a fight for the very soul of our shared reality, and it's a battle we simply cannot afford to lose.